fraction of a second. This is the second time I'm trying to make this video. Please keep in mind that these are channeled messages that will not resonate with everybody. Okay, what shall we have? What shall we have? Sorry, I should have got this organized before. What about that? Is that good? No. What about that? This is perfect because we can take a little bit of time to let some people come into the room. I'm in no rush, so. Yeah, why not? Okay, so this is a channeled message at Codes of Harmony. The music you are hearing in the background is bilateral beats to reset your nervous system, hopefully with no ads, at Maggie Kelly LPC, found here on YouTube. So this is a channeled message that I just know is, this is something I've already started, the conversation I've already started initiating here at YouTube about this ongoing, repeated expression that we are in a simulation. Now, I'm not saying that's completely not true, and I'm not saying that that is completely true. What is concerning is the way that people are getting confused about the idea of us being in a quote-unquote simulation. This is getting confused with some very big spiritual, philosophical, esoteric ideas that are getting all jumbled up in our modern contemporary culture. Here at YouTube, we are requested to say this is for entertainment purposes only. Please only take what resonates and leave what does not. I'm about to open up the space, open up the channel to talk about the fact that you are not in a video game. If you are sound sensitive, please be prepared for 3 loud noises. Okay. You are not in a video game. You are not in a video game. Let me say it one last time for the people in the back. You are not in a video game. Life is not a video game. I've taken some notes, and I also am going to look into some of the things that may be complicating and confusing this conversation or this idea. Because yes, we do exist in other realms. Yes, to some degree, the idea of this being a simulation is very important for us to talk about and think about. Unfortunately, many people are getting it very, very wrong, are getting it very confused. Yeah? I want to also open up this space by saying I personally cannot identify as a gamer, right? Somebody who plays video games, although obviously I have played video games in my life. You'll have to excuse my voice and sounding rather tired. I've had a migraine that has gone for a week, so I finally decided to take some painkillers, and the migraine has affected how much sleep I've been able to get over the last week. But Spirit is wanting me to put this message out. Part of the reason it's so dangerous for people to be seeing life as a video game is some of the basics of what video gaming is. And again, I do not say this to offend any gamers. I do not say this to disrespect the industry of gaming. But the basics of gaming, generally speaking, gaming is a competition, right? So if we keep repeating that this is a video game, that is basically telling people, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, that we are all in competition with each other. Generally speaking, when you play video games, you are either playing against other players, other people playing a video game, or against the video game itself. And again, please do not get offended. Anybody who is passionate about games and knows all of the jargon and is part of that community, actively part of that community, please do not take offense if I misrepresent or do not cover things in this video. Like I said, I am a little bit under the weather, as they say, but I'm going to do my best to get this message out. In video games, you kill other players. In video games, you kill other players, eliminate other players, take other players out of the game. So if we are repeating constantly that we are living in a video game and that life is a video game, is that not also an invitation or a suggestion that killing is not as big a deal as it really is? Is this not a conscious or subconscious invitation to be more violent, to have more deaths, and to not feel remorse when you harm, injure, kill, or impact somebody to the point of they unalive themselves? Okay? Another thing you do in video games is you track down, hunt, or race other players, or a simulation of another player in the video game itself. So is this not a problem if we are telling everybody that we are in a video game? Especially if this information is coming from spiritual guides. Please give me clear and divine guidance to be most beneficial for everyone involved. Clearing the path, clearing the path, clearing the path. In video games, you plan, you scheme, you trick, you have tactics to beat the other player, to win, to get somewhere in a game before somebody else. Again, these are all different forms of competition. And what else has set us in competition, hey? Capitalism, of course. This hamster wheel of making money, of hustling, of wanting to be the best rather than wanting the best for all. Another thing that you do in video games is you have alter egos or you have certain characters that you are playing. At this time, when spiritually we need to be all being ourselves more and more so, I would hate for people to be getting confused about the idea of being yourself when if you're constantly told that you're in a video game, and again, this is not a disrespect or a or even a conversation about the harm or the benefits of video gaming. It is just simply about people directly comparing that to life itself, to this wondrous miracle of existence, to the lifetimes that it takes us hundreds and hundreds of years to accomplish. You can spend 2 hours playing video games and you can quote unquote die 3 or 4 times in a 2-hour period sitting playing a video game. If you die in real life, it takes you many, many years, usually hundreds and hundreds of years, to reach 4 lifetimes. I also want to repeat that I am not trying to upset, disrupt, criticize, or invalidate the incredible work that I see lightworkers doing. And many, many creators, many, many lightworkers, many healers have used this understandably beneficial metaphor, but unfortunately, with the way the world is at the moment, with the mental health, the spiritual evolution, the pressures on people, the seismic changes that are happening to our human collective here on planet Earth, as well as the changes happening to Earth itself, some people are getting it really confused. Some people are equating the idea that we're in a video game, a simulation, equating it with meaning that life is not precious and life isn't meaningful. And even worse, that the idea of harming another or taking the life of another, ending the life of another, that is not meaningful and that is not a significant thing. We are raising and setting up for generations of people, not all, but far too many, devaluing life. I believe and I know in my soul that every life is precious. Life matters. Life matters more than a game. Life matters more than video game lives. Life is not a competition. Games are a competition. Every lifetime an individual soul learns, grows, and evolves. By this nature, it makes it a singular experience of evolution. Every single soul has a Akashic record. Every single being has a lifetime and lifetime and lifetime and lifetime of journeying and learning and growing over hundreds of years. The original Gnostic, esoteric conversations and speakings and teachings and writings talking about this being a simulation that originally was philosophized, channeled, spoken about, and presented to us as a collective before video games developed. You can find this in ancient writings, not written in the way that we would write it, not in the way that we talk about it now, but absolutely the idea that our soul is here to learn, that our soul is here to become a better version of ourselves every lifetime. And that we are not our bodies, we are not our physical selves, we are much more. That is true. So the comparison of this being a simulation, this being a playground, a school, Earth School, you may have heard it called, that is very, very different to us saying that our lives and our Earth, our beautiful home, our incredible planet Earth, to say that that is a video game is devaluing life in a way that I cannot stand by and not address here, at least on my channel, at least in this space, at least in my voice. Be it a tired voice today. And the reason I also mention its singular nature, the soul, that single individual soul journeying. And yes, you can have soulmates, you can have people you recognize from other timelines, from other lifetimes, but it is your individual soul, which means we are all moving at our own pace. We are all moving at our own timeline. We are all evolving and growing and choosing to come back as many times as we do individually. It is not a competition. And that is definitely not the way that divine would see it. The divine would never ever send us here to earth to learn and grow within our hearts, within our souls, within our being, in competition with each other. Some of us are still healing wounds from lifetimes 200, 300 years ago. Some of us are newer souls. Some of us are souls that are far connected to other places, other realms, other planetary systems even, other cycles of evolution even, that went on a long, long time ago. We are not in competition. And it is an evil, slippery slope. It is a dangerous trick of the matrix, of the programming, of the demiurge, of the egregore, of the dark forces, or the horned one himself, if that's how you would like to talk of it. It is a dark, slippery slope and an evil trick to try and teach us that we are all in competition. The only soul you are competing with is your own. And the last lifetime and what you did then and what you've done in this lifetime that you are still growing through and evolving from. The spiritual community will soon stop using the metaphor of gaming and games for life, as it is being misused, misunderstood, and is being used as an excuse to be unethical, violent, and manipulative. All things that might help you win a quote-unquote game, right? In a video game. Not when magic's concerned. Not when the deities and the gods are concerned, not when the environment is concerned, not when life itself is concerned. Games have been used as a non-violent way of sorting things out and settling disputes. I'm talking about historically, right? If you don't know what the term war games means, I highly encourage you to look into it. Please give me clear and divine guidance that will be most beneficial for everyone involved here at Codes of Harmony. Yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about the way that games have been used to settle and in some ways avoid wars. You could also see this as literally avoiding arguments or disputes between people, be it friends, be it co-workers, be it family. For example, in your family or in your office or in your friend group, there may be some kind of disagreement, some kind of trouble, and the way that someone might settle it is by saying, okay, best out of 3 at table tennis. Or, okay, let's play a game of cards or Monopoly or whatever it is in order to settle this dispute. And whoever wins gets to ... Instead of people fighting each other, physically fighting each other and having a brutal punch up, they might instead have a hand wrestle, an arm wrestle, excuse. So therefore, if we really truly act and believe and keep telling generation after generation that we are living in a video game, then that violence that happens traditionally within the digital video game or on the game board before video games became what they've become, we are inviting that violence out of that space into real life. Why? Because a game simulates life, not the other way around. Let me repeat that. Because a game simulates life, not the other way around. Instead of having physical fights, people can settle things via games. We cannot invite the competition, the battle, the war that takes place in video gaming. We cannot invite that to be accepted and seen as the same thing out here. Because life is so precious. Life is so precious. A baby is so precious. An elder is so precious. A living, breathing animal is so precious. A tree that helps us breathe is so precious. They are not simulations. These are living things and people and beings. And that's so beautiful. How could we disregard that? Yeah. I've definitely been inspired to come out and speak about this, even within the spiritual community that I am part of, even here as a tarot reader and a content creator here at YouTube, because of the violence and the wars that are taking place and the colonization that is taking place and the violations of human rights that are taking place at this time. And I know, I've channeled and I know full well that the reason the general public and the world is being, part of the reason this is being allowed to happen is because there are so many people that are not seeing those harmed, those lives lost in those places as precious. And I think I'll leave it there at that. Oh, hello. It's like all the magic of the age of Aquarius is at risk of being manipulated in a very dangerous way. And I say this not to scare anybody, not to alarm anybody. Quote connected to Brahma and reality is, the only absolute unchanging reality is Brahman, pure consciousness. The material world is a simulation-like projection or some interpretation of a cosmic dream created by divine consciousness. That is not the same as a video game. 27:37 on the tick over clock. So much love from Codes of